The sun rises over the savannah. It paints the sky in shades of orange and pink. This is a land of immense scale. A vast sea of grass stretches to the horizon in every direction. The grasslands are dotted with the flat-topped acacia trees, their silhouettes sharp against the morning light. The air is cool and still, holding the last remnants of the night's chill. It is a quiet time, a moment of peace before the world awakens. The sheer size of this place can be overwhelming. It is a kingdom ruled not by walls or borders, but by the ancient rhythms of nature, by the sun and the rain, and the ever-present cycle of life and death. A gentle breeze begins to stir. It rustles through the tall, golden grasses, creating soft, whispering sounds that travel for miles. The land itself seems to breathe. Distant mountains, hazy and blue, form a faint line against the sky. They are a reminder of the world that exists beyond this endless plain. Here, every feature of the landscape has a purpose. The scattered granite outcrops known as kopjes provide vantage points for predators and shelter for the small. The seasonal rivers, now just dry, sandy beds, trace paths of life that will burst forth when the rains return. It is a world of breathtaking beauty, but also of profound harshness. The light grows stronger, revealing the textures of the land. The dry earth is cracked in places, thirsty for water. The tracks of countless animals are imprinted in the dust, telling stories of the night's activities. A lone baobab tree stands like an ancient sentinel, its thick, gnarled branches reaching towards the sky. These trees can live for thousands of years, silent witnesses to the dramas that unfold beneath them. The savannah is not an empty space, it is a complex and vibrant ecosystem, teeming with life that is often hidden from view. Every blade of grass, every gust of wind is part of this intricate web. As the sun climbs higher, the heat begins to build. The air shimmers above the ground, creating mirages in the distance. The sounds of the morning begin to emerge, the chirping of insects, the distant call of a ground hornbill, the soft cooing of doves. These are the sounds of a world coming alive. For the creatures that call this place home, the day brings both opportunity and danger. Survival is a constant challenge, a game of strategy and strength played out on this magnificent, unforgiving stage. The savannah is a theatre of life, and the first act of the day is about to begin. Near a cluster of low, rocky kopjes, the Ndona pride is stirring. They are a family, a unit bound by blood and the shared struggle for survival. The lionesses are the first to move. They stretch their powerful limbs, their muscles rippling beneath their tawny coats. One yawns, revealing a formidable set of teeth. Her amber eyes, sharp and intelligent, scan the horizon. There are 6 adult females in this pride, each a skilled hunter and a devoted mother. They are the core of the family, the providers and the protectors. Their bond is the pride's greatest strength, forged over years of shared hunts and raising cubs together. The cubs tumble out from the shade of a large boulder. They are bundles of playful energy, their oversized paws and clumsy movements a charming contrast to the grace of the adults. There are 5 of them from 2 different litters. They chase each other, pouncing on their mothers' twitching tails and batting at imaginary foes in the grass. Their playful antics are more than just a game, they are a vital part of their education. Through these mock battles, they learn the skills of stalking, pouncing and fighting that they will one day need to survive. The adult females watch them with a mixture of patience and affection. A deep, rumbling groan signals the awakening of the pride's male. He is a magnificent creature, larger than the lionesses, with a thick, dark mane that frames his noble face. Scars on his nose and flank tell the story of past battles fought to defend his family and his territory. He is the patriarch, the guardian. His primary role is not to hunt, but to protect the pride from rival males and other dangers like hyenas. He rises slowly, his sheer size and presence commanding respect. He walks to the edge of the rocks, his gaze sweeping across his domain with an air of quiet authority. The pride comes together in a ritual of greeting. They rub their heads against each other, purring loudly. This action, known as head rubbing, is not just a sign of affection. It is a crucial social behavior that reinforces their bonds and shares a communal scent. By mixing their scents, they create a unique family odor that identifies them as a single, unified group. This scent marking is essential for communication and cohesion within the pride. As the morning sun warms their fur, they are a picture of unity and strength, a family preparing to face the challenges of the day together. The lead lioness, an experienced female named Malaika, stands apart from the rest. Her name means angel in Swahili, but she is a formidable force of nature. Her ears are tattered, and a long faded scar runs across her right shoulder, a testament to a life of hardship and resilience. She is the matriarch, the decision-maker. The success of the hunt, and therefore the survival of the pride, rests heavily upon her. She feels the pressure in the hollow hunger of the cubs and the expectant gazes of the other lionesses. They have not had a significant kill in 3 days, and the growing weakness is a silent, urgent threat. Malaika's gaze is fixed on the vast plains. She is not just looking, she is reading the landscape. She notes the direction of the wind, the patterns of the grazing herds, the subtle signs that a novice observer would miss. Her mind is a map of this territory, filled with knowledge passed down through generations. She knows where the waterholes are, which gullies provide the best cover, and where the herds are most likely to be vulnerable. The weight of this knowledge is immense. A wrong decision could mean wasted energy, prolonged hunger, or even injury. The lives of her family depend on her wisdom and experience. The cubs' playful yelps seem to grow louder, a constant reminder of their needs. Their small bodies burn energy quickly, and they require meat to grow strong. The other lionesses look to Malaika for a sign, for a direction. They trust her judgment implicitly. She has led them through droughts and territorial disputes, through times of plenty and times of desperate scarcity. She turns her head and makes a low, guttural sound, a call to gather. It is a subtle command, but its meaning is clear. The time for rest is over. The hunt must begin. The lazy morning peace has evaporated, replaced by a quiet, focused tension. She begins to move, not with haste, but with a deliberate, purposeful stride. The other lionesses fall in behind her, their own playful moods now shed. They move as one, a silent, coordinated unit. The cubs are left behind in the relative safety of the kopjes, watched over by a younger, less experienced female. This is a difficult but necessary separation. The hunt is a dangerous business, and the cubs would only be a hindrance and a liability. As Malaika leads her hunting party into the tall grass, the weight of her responsibility is a physical presence, driving her forward into the heat of the day. The hunting party moves through the savannah, becoming one with the landscape. The sun is higher now, beating down with intensity. The heat radiates from the earth and the air is thick and heavy. The only relief comes from the wind, which blows in long, steady gusts across the plains. For the lions, the wind is not just a cooling breeze, it is a critical tool and a potential betrayer. It carries scents, telling them what lies ahead, but it can also carry their own scent to their prey, announcing their presence and ruining the hunt before it has even begun. They must constantly be aware of its direction, using it to their advantage. Malika leads them on a wide, looping path, keeping them downwind of the direction where she expects to find the herds. The grasses are tall here, almost shoulder high. They are a sea of pale gold, swaying and rustling with every gust of wind. The sound is a constant whisper, a natural camouflage for the soft padding of their paws. The lions move in a low crouch, their bodies almost completely concealed by the vegetation. They are ghosts in the grassland, their tawny coats a perfect match for the dry stalks. The world is reduced to a narrow field of vision, a maze of grass stems and the scent of dust and pollen. The sounds of the savannah are all around them, carried on the breeze. In the distance, the frantic, laughing whoops of a clan of hyenas echo across the plain. The lions pause, their ears swiveling to pinpoint the source. Hyenas are their eternal rivals, competitors for food and a direct threat to their cubs. The sound is a reminder that they are not the only powerful predators here. Closer by, a flock of guinea fowl erupts from the grass with a clatter of wings and alarmed calls. The lionesses freeze, sinking even lower, hoping they have not been spotted. Every sound, every movement in this environment carries information. They continue their slow, patient advance. The sun reflects off the tiny silica particles on the grass blades, creating a shimmering, almost hypnotic effect. The air is filled with the sweet, earthy smell of the vegetation and the dry soil. Malika pauses often, lifting her head to test the air. She closes her eyes, her sense of smell far more acute than her sight. She is searching for a particular scent, the rich, musky odor of large herbivores. The wind whispers its secrets to her, telling tales of wildebeest, of zebra, of buffalo. It is a language she has understood since she was a cub, the language of survival. After nearly an hour of patient tracking, Malika catches the scent she has been searching for. It is the unmistakable smell of Cape buffalo. A herd is nearby. She signals to the other lionesses with a subtle flick of her tail. They instantly freeze, their bodies pressed low to the ground. The tension is palpable. Buffalo are not easy prey. They are immensely powerful, armed with thick horns and known for their aggressive and unpredictable nature. A hunt for buffalo is a high-risk, high-reward endeavor. A single kick or a charge from an angry bull can be fatal, even for an experienced lioness. The pride begins to fan out, executing a strategy honed by countless hunts. Malika remains in the center, directing the operation with nearly imperceptible movements. Two lionesses circle far to the left, while two others move to the right. They use every dip and fold in the terrain, every patch of taller grass, to remain unseen. Their movements are slow, deliberate, and incredibly patient. Each step is placed with care to avoid snapping a dry twig or rustling the grass too loudly. It is a slow-motion dance of predators, a silent, coordinated effort that relies on instinct and deep trust between the members of the pride. Through a gap in the grass, they can now see the herd. It is a formidable sight. 100 dark, imposing bodies stand clustered together, some grazing peacefully, others resting in the shade of a sparse acacia grove. The calves are kept in the center of the herd, protected by the massive bodies of the adults. The old bulls, with their heavy, curved horns and battle-scarred hides, stand on the periphery, their heads up, constantly scanning for danger. The low grunts and bellows of the buffalo carry on the wind, a deep, rumbling sound that seems to make the ground vibrate. The lions watch, waiting for the right moment. Malaika identifies a potential target. It is an older bull, separated slightly from the main group. He is grazing near a dense thicket, his attention focused on the grass. He is still a formidable opponent, but his slight distance from the herd makes him a more achievable target. The plan is to isolate him, to drive him away from the safety of the others. The lionesses inch forward, closing the distance meter by agonizing meter. Every muscle in their bodies is coiled like a spring. The air is thick with anticipation. The sun beats down, and the only sound is the wind and the distant lowing of the herd. The showdown is, approaching. The signal is given. It's not a sound, but a sudden shift in Malaika's posture. She bursts from the cover of the grass, just a blur of tawny muscle. The explosion of speed is honestly breathtaking. The other lionesses launch their attack from different angles at the exact same moment. Chaos erupts in the buffalo herd. The animals bellow in alarm, their peaceful grazing turning instantly into a panicked stampede. Dust billows into the air, obscuring the scene in a thick, choking cloud. The ground trembles under the thunder of hundreds of heavy hooves. The target bull, startled and confused, is momentarily separated from the stampeding mass. This is the critical moment. Two of the younger lionesses sprint to head off the bull, turning him away from the safety of the fleeing herd. They're fast and agile, but they must be careful. They dart in and out, nipping at his flanks, forcing him towards the ambush point where Malaika and the strongest female, her sister, are waiting. The bull is enraged. He lowers his massive head, swinging those deadly horns in wide arcs. He lets out a furious bellow, a sound of pure power and aggression. He's not a creature that flees easily. He's fighting back, and he is dangerous. Malaika and her sister launch themselves at the isolated bull. It's a collision of immense force. Malaika leaps onto the bull's broad back, her claws digging deep into the thick hide for purchase. Her sister attacks from the side, aiming for the powerful hind legs to unbalance the animal. The bull roars in pain and fury, bucking and spinning violently to throw them off. He's a mountain of muscle, and the lionesses are tossed around like dolls. It's a brutal, desperate struggle. The other lionesses join the fray, adding their weight and strength, trying to drag the giant to the ground. The struggle seems to last an eternity. The air is filled with the sounds of snarls, roars, and the desperate bellows of the buffalo. The dust is so thick it's hard to breathe. The lionesses are relentless. They cling on with sheer determination, their jaws seeking a hold on the bull's throat. Finally, under their combined weight and relentless assault, the bull's legs begin to buckle. He stumbles, and with a final, shuddering crash, he falls to the earth. The lionesses tighten their grip, ending the struggle swiftly. The savannah falls silent once more, the dust slowly beginning to settle around the fallen giant. Victory has been achieved, but the danger is far from over. The scent of a fresh kill travels quickly on the savanna winds, and it acts as an open invitation to scavengers. The lionesses are exhausted, their bodies bruised and their muscles aching from the violent struggle. They pant heavily, their sides heaving. Malaika has a deep gash on her flank from one of the bull's horns, a painful price for their meal. But there's no time to rest. They must eat quickly, and they have to remain vigilant. The telltale whoops of hyenas are already growing closer. More excited, the pride begins to feed. There's a clear hierarchy, even in their hunger. As the leader who initiated the final takedown, Malaika eats first, claiming the best parts of the carcass. The other lionesses wait their turn, their gazes constantly scanning the perimeter. The sounds of tearing flesh and crunching bone are visceral, a stark reminder of the raw reality of survival. This meal is life itself. It will replenish their strength, provide milk for the cubs and sustain them for the days to come. The taste of blood and meat is the taste of success, the reward for their courage and teamwork. Soon, the first hyenas appear on the horizon, their shadowy figures at first loping with their distinctive gait, but their numbers quickly swell. A large clan has gathered, drawn by the smell of blood. They circle the kill site, their eerie calls filling the air, testing the lion's resolve. The hyenas are formidable opponents, especially in large numbers. They're not just scavengers, they're powerful predators in their own right, and they won't hesitate to challenge the lions for their hard-won meal. The lionesses stand their ground, raising their blood-stained muzzles to snarl and roar at the encroaching rivals. The tension escalates into a series of skirmishes. A bold hyena darts in, trying to snatch a piece of meat, only to be driven back by a charging lioness. The air is thick with aggression, a cacophony of growls, snarls, and frantic whoops. The lionesses have to eat and defend at the same time, a stressful and exhausting task. They gorge themselves as quickly as they can, swallowing large chunks of meat. They know they can't defend the carcass forever. Their goal is to consume as much as possible before the sheer numbers of the hyena clan force them to retreat. It's a brutal, chaotic scene under the harsh afternoon sun. With their bellies full and the hyena clan growing bolder and more numerous, Malika makes the decision to leave. It's no longer safe to remain. The pride has eaten its fill, and to stay and fight would be to risk serious injury for no further gain. She gives a low call, and the lionesses reluctantly abandon the carcass to the victorious scavengers. They leave the chaotic scene behind, the sounds of the hyenas' frenzied feeding fading as they walk away. Their bodies are heavy with meat, and their steps are slow and weary. The walk back to the kopjes is a long one. The sun is beginning to dip towards the horizon, casting long shadows across the plains. The air is cooling, and the light is softening into the golden hues of late afternoon. The lionesses walk together, their bodies often brushing against one another. The shared ordeal of the hunt and the subsequent feast has reinforced their bond. They move as a single, tired entity, united in their purpose. Malika, despite her injury, leads the way. Her pace is steady, her resolve unbroken. She must get her pride back to the safety of their den and the waiting cubs. As they travel, the savanna around them is transitioning from day to night. Herds of zebra and wildebeest are on the move, heading towards safer open spaces to spend the night. The sounds are changing too. The chirping of insects gives way to the croaking of frogs near a hidden pool of water. A nightjar begins its churring call. The world is preparing for the darkness, a time when different creatures emerge and different rules apply. The lionesses are tired, but they are also at their most content. A full belly brings a profound sense of security in this unpredictable world. Finally, they see the familiar silhouette of the kopjes against the twilight sky. The sight of home gives them a renewed burst of energy. As they draw closer, they hear the faint, high-pitched calls of the cubs. The young lions have sensed their mother's return. The lionesses quicken their pace, their exhaustion momentarily forgotten. The reunion is a joyous and noisy affair. The cubs rush to greet them, tumbling over each other in their excitement, nuzzling against their mother's legs and faces. The hunt was for them, and their survival is the ultimate victory of the day. The pride settles down for the night in the sanctuary of the rocks. The cubs, their hunger now satisfied with rich milk from their mothers, are full of renewed energy. They play for a while longer, their small forms silhouetted against the last light of dusk, before finally curling up together in a heap of warm fur. The adult lionesses groom themselves, licking their wounds and cleaning the blood and dust from their coats. They also groom each other, the rough rasp of their tongues a soothing and social act. The tensions of the day melt away, replaced by a deep communal calm. The sky above is a breathtaking canopy of stars. With no city lights to obscure the view, the Milky Way stretches across the heavens like a river of diamonds. The moon, a bright sliver, casts a pale, ethereal light over the savannah. The air is cool and filled with the symphony of the African night. The distant roar of another lion echoes from miles away, a declaration of territory. The patriarch of the Ndona pride lifts his head and answers with a powerful, soul-stirring roar of his own. The sound rolls across the plains, a definitive statement that this land is protected. Malaika lies on a high ledge, her injured flank now clean. She watches over her sleeping family. Her body aches, but her mind is at peace. Her pride is safe. Their bellies are full. The cubs are healthy. In the harsh world of the savannah, this is the definition of wealth. She has fulfilled her duty as a leader and a mother. Tomorrow, the sun will rise again, and the struggle for survival will begin anew. There will be new challenges, new dangers, and the constant pressing need to hunt again. But for now, there is only peace. The cycle of life in the savannah is relentless, a continuous loop of struggle and reprieve, of hunger and satisfaction. For this pride of lions, tonight is a moment of reprieve. They are a symbol of resilience, a testament to the power of family and the enduring spirit of the wild. As they rest under the vast, star-filled African sky, they are more than just predators. They are a family, a dynasty, an integral part of this ancient and magnificent land. They are the heart of the savannah, and tonight that heart beats strong and steady in the quiet darkness.